Welcome back. And we'll start off with the Westminster Bobcats, a team that looked very, very good, and then all of a sudden just flipped a switch and started tailing. They're not out of it. They're still holding second place, 4 points up on Fort Mac, but they've been struggling on a couple of areas. One, goal scoring, which has been huge considering they got rid of a lot of their scorers. They needed these younger guys to step up, give them more time. Outside of one game, they haven't done that much. And you look at the losses to the teams that they're facing, Whitecourt, for example, is a team that they potentially can meet in the first round. Now, with their subpar performance, could they turn this around just before the playoffs? Because they still got about 8 games to go. Can they turn it around just in time, or could we see this team become a one and done in the playoffs?
Easily one and done if they don't turn things. If they don't get scoring, they're going to be one and done. It's that simple, I think, with the Bobcats. They don't have anybody, and they used to have guys like Kevin Dorar scoring a lot of goals. Now he's scoring one here, one there. You need a consistent goal scorer, and they don't have that. They've never had that, let's be honest. Like, you can look at guys like Springer and Coons when they were here, and they were putting pucks in the net, but you don't have a guy who's a 40 goal scorer in this league, a 90-point guy. They're not even close to a guy like that, so they need a lot of help scoring, or they're going to be done quickly.
Yeah, I mean, the AJHL North is tough, and if you're not going to be scoring goals, you're going to be on the outside looking in. The one thing, Devin Green can steal a playoff series for them. He's playing extremely well again here down the stretch. So, I mean, not ready to write them off by any stretch yet. They should have home ice here in the first round. So, I mean, still time to get it turned around.
Is there a team that you feel that they can't match up with that's in the bottom of the standings right now? Because the way it looks, they are holding up to second. Say if they even finish second or third, they're most likely going to face either Whitecourt or Drayton Valley. Who do they have a better chance of actually beating?
Well, they have a chance because they are historically bad against Drayton Valley, but Whitecourt is playing so well right now. So I'd probably say Drayton would be the team they're going to beat. Like, you can take historics away. They haven't really played each other in the playoffs lately, but Whitecourt right now, if they can keep what they're doing and winning in the next 8 games, they're the team I would not want to face going to the playoffs.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that too. I mean, there's always that hot team at the bottom of the division coming into the playoffs that you want to try to avoid, and this year that's Whitecourt, so that's who I would not want to face, I guess.
Well, how about another team you wouldn't want to face perhaps in the playoffs, and that's the Spruce Grove Saints, winners of 16 in a row, looking to make it 17 Friday night in Grand Prairie. Guys, they'll get it done, right?
Oh, easily. I mean, Grand Prairie has, 14 wins? So they have a longer streak than Grand Prairie has wins. So easily get, and then they play them the next night. So we're looking at 18, and then they play, Sherwood Park. So there's 19, and then they play the Bobcats. I'm not going to say 20, but who knows how long they can go. This is a very good team and, so dominant team. This is going to, they're not a one and done once they get off their bye week. This is a team that's probably going to be, we're looking at RBC possibly for these guys. So, yeah, it's scary how good they are.
Yeah, teams that deep and playing this well this time of year, it's amazing that the kind of a role they can get on.
It'll be interesting to see what happens. I don't know. I think there might be an upset with Grand Prairie. One of those games. One of those games might just be an off night, and then they're going to have another streak.
No one goes to Grand Prairie and splits with Grand Prairie. Let's be honest.
Hey, crazier stuff has happened. Ask Dion Phaneuf, because the guy's been hurt so much. The guy's been inconsistent so much. It's a matter of time before this guy leaves, right?
I think he might be on his way out. There's been a lot of pressure in Toronto the last couple of years, and this year the wheels have really fallen off. And being the captain, being the highest paid defenseman, you're the focal point. You're supposed to be the leader that can get things turned around. And obviously he's been hurt here in their last little slide, but Phaneuf has proved time and time again that he hasn't been able to take the Leafs to the next level.
Problem, you said he's highest paid, so where are you going to move him to? Who's going to be able to take on that salary cap? And a contending team that has salary cap left, no one really has that. And the trade partners are looking at guys like the Kings don't have the salary cap to take on a long-term player. So as much as everyone wants to move him, I think they've almost handcuffed themselves that they can't move him. He has too much of a contract and too much money. So I think he was probably going to last longer than the deadline, but maybe it's more of a summer when people have actually some cap space to move around with.
Yeah, does he get bought out?
You're not buying out Mike Richards, and they're not buying out Phaneuf. So I don't think.
Well, the thing is, it won't buy out Mike Richards because you're giving LA an advantage. If you buy
in
out
terms
Richards,
of no one.
I think it's more strategy on the part. You're like, I don't want LA to be near the cup run because if they have some money to free up, they're going to be a team that's going to be in the mix. But I will say this: with the Leafs? You got a guy, you couldn't just bite the bullet and maybe trade him sometime in March? Honestly. Like, could you not do that? Just say, you know what, we'll eat up half of his contract or do this and send him somewhere and give us some picks or something.
Teams might get desperate. You never know who gets hurt here in the next couple of weeks leading up to the deadline. But 3 more years at a $7 million cap hit is going to be tough for any contending team to take on at this point. He's more of a guy that has to be dealt in the summer, I think.
All right, guys. We will just very quickly get to this. Tiger Woods, the worse he gets, example, the Phoenix Open. The funnier he is. He seemed to be jovial, someone who joked around. He has this weird relationship now, and I say weird because he seems more of a comedian than he does a golfer. He shot an 82, was terrible last weekend, but yet everyone seemed to like him. He's much more likable. Has your opinion changed on Tiger just yet?
I've always been a huge Tiger Woods fan. I didn't care if he had a good relationship with the media or whatever. He was just such an amazing player to watch golf year after year, and the consistency. But yeah, it is kind of nice to see another side of his personality for sure. You didn't know if that was even in there because he was so robotic all the time. So now he seems a little personable.
But do you want the personal Tiger Woods, or do you want the professional Tiger Woods playing good on the golf course? And that's what people want, is that. So I don't know if I'd take his attitude as a change. Like, it's nice that when he's not playing well, he can do something else to keep headlines. But I want Tiger back to winning tournaments again and being in major tournaments and being a contender and being that guy who's picking Tiger Woods or the rest of the field. That's what I want back. I don't want Marshawn Lynch stealing quote guy. I don't want him.
Come on, guys,
No.
making jokes about being the only
Everyone's made that
guy
joke
at
this
a
week.
ski trip or a ski chalet.
Ugh.
You ever heard that one? That was
No.
great. All right. Well, I guess we're gonna have to take another commercial break. I like it. I think it's much better, much more personable. Speaking of which, a personable game for you guys, over under coming up next.